quiet because Truman's asleep next to me. I am going to go over the syllabus this year. It's a document that will be on your Google Classroom. There will also be a Google Doc for you to sign to say that you agree. And then later I'll be sending this document to your parents so your parents can see as well. You don't have to worry about printing this and signing it. I'm just using the same document for you to read, and then you will sign it using a Google form. So the first thing it talks about is what you will do in language arts. And I won't read all of this to you, but it indicates the writing that we'll be doing, the writing stages, reading, different things that we'll be reading, our vocabulary work, our grammar work. It's just the ideas that we're going to have in language arts. Now, our materials, you must bring your Chromebook and Chromebook charger every day when you come to class, as well as headphones, because a lot of times I'm going to have videos that you may not be able to listen to as a class. For my virtual kids, obviously you don't need headphones, but sometimes it's nice. So if there's people around you, you know, you can kind of listen in and not get distracted. I think it is wise for everyone to have a class folder, especially if you are a hybrid kid, you are coming to class, just a folder will do, because there will be papers that I will end up giving you. I do think it's a good idea for my virtual kids to do that as well. If you're anything like me, I like having paper in front of me. So if you have access to a printer, that might be a good idea, especially if after all of this virtual is done, if we end up being able to come all back together, that's something I'm going to want you to have. Paper is super important. Lined 3-hole punch. As much as all this stuff is going virtual, I still believe in writing with your hands. So we will need paper. You will need pencils, pens, and highlighters. And then, of course, especially for my hybrid kids, donations of tissue, hand sanitizer, and paper. They're not necessary, but if your parents are willing to donate those things, they are very much appreciated. So for assignments, at the start of the year, all assignments will be listed weekly on a Google slide deck. And if you don't know, a Google slide deck is just all of the slides together. So those decks, they include videos, instructions, links to assignments, and directions to go to Google Classroom. So maybe not everything, it might tell you you need to go somewhere, but everything you need to be able to be successful in the assignment is in those Google slide decks. And what I mean by that is sometimes the instruction is to go to Google Classroom. So it tells you exactly what you need, you just may have to go elsewhere to get it. I will always post these decks in Google Classroom under classwork. I will post them once a week, but I'll also email them to you at the beginning of the week. Now, keep in mind, this is an unprecedented time, meaning I haven't taught like this before. I did a little bit last year during the COVID stuff, but just keep in mind that this is the way we're doing things now. It may change as things go on simply because things are changing pretty much all the time right now. Grading, I grade on a 100-point scale. What that basically means is everything is going to be equal. So if you are someone who just bombs quizzes, you get really nervous, you're a nervous test taker, so a lot of times you bomb under the pressure, that's okay, because quizzes are going to be equal to all of the classwork that I give. The only things that will be more will be tests and essays, and that's because we work so long on them. But I will let you know, hey, this is a double grade, meaning it's like worth 2 quizzes or 2 homework assignments. But that's how I grade. Absences, this is a district policy. So if you are absent from school, you have that amount of days that you were absent to complete assignments. Meaning if you're absent on Monday, you have 1 day, so you come back Tuesday, you will have 1 day to make up Monday's assignments. That's a district thing. However, especially right now, everything I'm doing is posted online. Meaning, if you have a fever and your parents are worried about you coming to school, but you feel fine, or maybe you have a stuffy nose, or maybe your throat hurts a little, but if you are able, now I understand sick is sick, so if you do not feel up to it, I completely understand. But if it's one of those things or you miss the bus and you can't get a ride to school, if you are able to be completing work at home, you should. You can still take the attendance that's going to be sent to you, and you can get things done because all of it's going to be posted online. So keep that in mind. And then late work. So my rule is the first day that an assignment is late will result in a 10% deduction. So let's say something's due on Monday and you turned it in on Tuesday, you're only going to lose 10%. You can still get a 90. This is something new that's coming from the office. It's not from Miss Marks, it's from the office. The second day through the seventh day will result in a 30% deduction. Actually, I think the office says even that first day it should, but I'm saying the first day is 10%. And then let's say it's due on Monday. If you turn it in Tuesday, you'll lose 10%. If you turn it in Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, or the following Monday, you'll get 30% off the top. But anything more than a week, I will not accept, and the school will not accept. That's a new rule this year. So you can't just, oh, I guess I'll get everything done in a couple weeks. You have to keep up. My contact information is my email address that's there. And then right here, I've got a fancy schmancy little signature page, which you guys aren't going to worry about. I am going to, like I said, have a little Google Doc that says you have a Google form that says you have listened to this video, you looked over the syllabus, and you agree to the terms I have in place. And like I said, shortly after this, I will be reaching out to your parents and guardians so that they understand the expectations as well.